What if the reason you lie awake isn't only stress, caffeine, or a racing to-do list, but something quieter, older, a soft tug at the edges of your awareness that won't let you settle? Imagine that beneath the thoughts that replay at night, there's a thread of unfinished feelings, small unpardoned regrets, and a sense of purpose that feels misplaced. Tonight, we will meet that thread gently, name it, and give it a place to rest so your body can do what it needs to do, fall into natural sleep. According to Edgar Cayce, sleep is not just a break from waking life, but a gateway where the deeper self reviews, attunes, and heals. In Cayce's view, the soul's life has rhythms and layers. Sometimes waking life leaves impressions that need a soft review before release. This routine, Cayce-inspired rather than a historical prescription, blends practical sleep hygiene with imagery and gentle inner work designed to turn rumination into remembrance and rest. If you're ready to try a gentle, Cayce-inspired bedtime routine, stay with me. Begin by giving yourself permission. You are not failing because you can't sleep. Wakefulness is often an invitation to pay attention to what has not yet been released. That invitation can be met in small, humane ways. Cayce spoke of the borderland between waking and sleeping, of guides and records and circles of light. Whether you take those images literally or as metaphors, they offer a map for a calm, deliberate descent into sleep. Modern sleep science agrees on simple things that help: low light, reduced stimulation, a steady bedtime habit. We will combine those practical supports with an inner ritual that helps the heart let go. First, prepare your space and set a simple intention. The practical: dim your lights at least 20 to 30 minutes before you intend to lie down. Lower screens or use a warm filter. Make the room comfortably cool and ensure your bedding feels inviting. A small, concrete physical action helps the mind understand the body's next step. Now the gentle, Cayce-inspired overlay. Imagine drawing an invisible circle of soft light around your bed. This is not a barrier of exclusion, but a container of tenderness. Say to yourself, quietly or in your mind, "Tonight I will release what I do not need." Keep the phrasing simple. If you prefer secular language, name it plainly. "Tonight I will set aside what I can't resolve now." The purpose of this step is to create ritual, a small signal that tonight's waking work will be moved into a safe place. Second, settle the body and begin to breathe slowly. Lie down in a comfortable position, letting your limbs find natural rest. Bring attention to breathing. Inhale slowly to a count that feels natural to you. Hold if that's comfortable for a brief moment, and exhale a longer, easy release. The practical goal here is to slow your nervous system. The deeper breath invites a lowering of what many esoteric teachings call vibration. In Cayce's language, slowing the breath helps you descend into a gentler rhythm of consciousness. As a Cayce-inspired phrase you can use quietly, "I slow, I soften, I come home." If you prefer secular phrasing, try "breathe in calm, breathe out tension." Move through a gentle progressive relaxation. Imagine relaxing your toes, then your feet, your calves, thighs, hips, lower back, chest, shoulders, arms, hands, neck, jaw, eyes, forehead. Name each area briefly and let it soften. Do not force sensations. Observe and invite release. Third, offload with a short, focused journaling exercise, the Hall of Records practice. Keep a small notebook by your bed. When your mind spins with replayed scenes, tasks, or regrets, write them down for 1 to 3 minutes. This is not a therapy session, it's a practical transfer. Label the page with a date and title it simply Night Notes. Write whatever demands attention: a regret, an unfinished sentence with someone, a worry about tomorrow. After writing, fold the page and place it on your bedside table, imagining it resting in a safe hall of records until morning. Cayce's readings reference a metaphorical hall of records where life impressions are reviewed. Use that image if it helps you feel contained. Say to yourself, "I set these down. They are not forgotten, but they are set aside." For a secular version, tell yourself, "I'll attend to this in the morning. For now, I'm storing it where I can return to it. The act of recording transforms rumination into containment. Your mind no longer needs to replay the list to hold it. Fourth, practice a compassionate inner review to transform regret into learning. You do not need to relive every detail. Instead, choose one small regret or anxious image and give it 3 short moves. Name it, forgive yourself, or offer compassion, and release it. Name it with one sentence. I regret that I said X, or I am anxious about Y. Then offer a gentle reframe. I did the best I could with what I knew. Finally, imagine that moment loosening from your chest and drifting away like a fallen leaf. In Cayce's view, the soul is learning. This is a review, not a condemnation. You can imagine a guide by your side, kind, unintrusive, or simply hold the image of a warm light touching a memory. If metaphors feel foreign, practice the secular variation. Quietly say, I acknowledge this. I will learn from it. I will set it aside for now. Repeat as needed, but keep it brief. This is not a long analysis. It's a compassionate completion. Fifth, enter a guided visualization of light and descent to attune to rest. This is the heart of the method, and an extended practice you can follow whenever you need deep help to fall asleep. Make sure you're settled, the room is dim, and your notebook page is closed. Begin by feeling the weight of your body against the mattress. Let that weight be a friendly reminder that you are allowed to be here, doing nothing.
Imagine a soft silver thread, call it a cord if you like, that gently connects your awareness to something steady above. Cayce's imagery often mentions a silver cord. Use this as a metaphor for safe connection rather than a literal claim. Now picture a circle of warm light forming at the crown of your head. This light is neither bright nor overwhelming. It is a color that feels inviting, pale gold, soft amber, or cool moonlight. As it moves down over your forehead, your eyes, your mouth, and your throat, feel a sense of ease drop into each place. The light is like a gentle tide washing away small edges of tension. As it travels down your shoulders, arms, chest, and belly, allow the breath to follow its passage, longer and softer. If you meet resistance, tightness, a memory, imagine the light pausing, then embracing it, not forcing it, simply letting it be seen. This is the beginning of attunement, not to fix anything, but to make space for peace. As the light descends to your hips and legs, imagine those parts becoming pleasantly heavy, sinking further into the mattress. Each exhale is a letting go. If you prefer a secular alternative, picture a warm, familiar color, or imagine yourself lying on a soft shore while waves of exhale lap away tension. Or use a body scan language. Relax toes, relax soles, relax calves. Now visualize that the circle of light widens, forming an arch that supports you. Around this arch are small, kind presences. If the spiritual language resonates, these are your guides or angels. If not, imagine them as quiet, compassionate witnesses, or simply the sense of safety. They do not judge. They hold an unobtrusive space for your release. You might sense a phrase landing in your mind like a feather. I remember love. Repeat this phrase gently to anchor your heart. If that feels too mystical, substitute a secular anchor such as, I am safe to rest. In this visualization, imagine that each regret, worry, or unfinished task turns into a small, luminous object, perhaps a paper boat, a leaf, a tiny lantern. See yourself placing each object into the circle of light. As you place it, say, this I release until morning. Watch the object softly drift away from you and into the light, carried upward into a friendly darkness that is not empty but gently holding. There is no rush. Place one item at a time until your mind feels lighter. If repetitive items return, simply acknowledge them, place them again, and breathe. Now allow yourself a gentle ascent and descent. According to Cayce, the soul can move between layers of consciousness. Tonight you are intentionally descending into the denser state of sleep. Imagine descending a short staircase of soft cloud-like steps. With each step down, your body gets heavier and your thinking quieter. Count slowly if it helps. 10, 9, 8, letting each number be a soft settling. When you reach the bottom, you are cradled by darkness that is warm and receptive.
If metaphysical images are not your preference, translate this to sensory detail. Imagine yourself sinking into a comfortable bed on a calm, quiet night. Feel the texture of the sheets, the temperature of the room, the rise and fall of your breathing. Let your mental voice shorten. Focus on single words or simple pictures that are restful, like a steady lamp, a slow stream, a leaf falling. After you have released what you can, shift focus to a brief affirmation that gently redirects the mind toward the next morning. Say silently, "I will remember what I need when the time is right. For now, I rest." This phrase respects the mind's concerns without feeding them. It gives your mental processes permission to continue in a safe place. Sixth, ground gently back into the body as you allow sleep. Before you surrender to sleep, feel the connection of your physical self to the mattress and the floor. Imagine the silver cord or the sense of steady connection anchoring you without pulling you back into anxious thought. Wiggle a finger or toe if you need to re-establish the sense of presence. If you wake during the night and worry returns, use a shortened version of this routine. Breathe slowly, name the worry, and set it on the bedside page. Imagine the light taking it, and repeat your anchor phrase. Keep the re-entry brief and kind. Avoid screen checks. Seventh, cultivate a short morning practice of gentle review. In the morning, if you can, spend 2 to 5 minutes with the page you left by your bed. Read what you wrote and decide what, if anything, needs action today. Often, simply designating a time to act on an item removes its nocturnal power. This closure is a practical step that honors the symbolic hall of records and helps your brain learn that nighttime is not the time to resolve everything. Now I will guide you through a full, extended version of the visualization, longer and more sensory. This is written to be read slowly and softly at bedtime. If you prefer to use secular language, replace references to guides, silver cords, or halls with sensory images: warmth, shore, weight, light. Let each line land and breathe for its own rhythm. Feel the mattress beneath you. Notice how your body meets support. Let your arms rest comfortably and let your legs find an angle that is natural. Soften the jaw. If your hands are clenched in any way, open them and let them relax. Allow your eyes to be comfortably closed. Bring awareness to your breath. Breathe in through the nose gently and allow the out-breath to be a little longer than the in-breath. With each out-breath, imagine a thread of warmth unspooling from the center of your forehead and moving down across your face, across your neck, across the shoulders. The thread of warmth is patient. It does not rush to change anything. It simply moves through, noticing where there is tension and inviting it to loosen. Picture a small point of light at the crown of your head.
It is not harsh. It is the color of sunrise through thin curtains or the glow of a candle in another room. This point of light expands slowly, softening as it meets the crown, moving like a gentle tide down over your temples. When the light reaches your eyes, imagine the muscles around them relaxing, as if someone were smoothing a thin cloth. Feel the space behind your eyes become less busy. When the light moves to your cheeks and jaw, let the jaw unclench. If a thought arises, a sentence unfinished, a worry, acknowledge it like a passing bird. Then let the light pass through and soften the place it touched. As the light descends along your throat and shoulders, it carries warmth that places a hand across any tightness. Imagine the shoulders dropping a fraction, as if they remembered they could rest. The descent continues over your chest, and with each slow exhale, your heart feels the permission to ease. Let the breathing be steady and unforced, an old rhythm you have known since childhood. Now the light travels along your arms to the fingertips. Each finger melts into a soft, heavy warmth. The sensation is simple, a pleasant heaviness. You might picture your arms as old tree branches, strong yet relaxed, rooted to the branch of the tree that is your bed. Let the light move into your belly. If nerves or sharpness sit here, imagine the light resting there like a warm compress. It does not take anything away. It simply makes room. If the mind offers a regret, the small, bright sting of a remembered word, place it gently into the light. See it as a small, folded piece of paper, slightly creased. With kindness, release it. It floats away into the field of light above you. The descent continues to your hips, thighs, knees, calves, ankles, and feet. Each segment grows pleasantly heavy and settled, sinking deeper into the mattress. Your entire body becomes comfortably anchored. Feel gratitude for the sensation of support, the mattress holding you,
the floor beneath that, the world steady whether you sleep or not. Now imagine the circle of light you created earlier widening into a soft dome that cradles you. Within that dome, there are quiet presences, not voices that speak loudly, but impressions of warmth, a hand on the shoulder, a sense of acceptance. If you feel the presence of a guide, know they are there to witness, not to judge. You may sense a phrase land, "I remember love." Let that phrase be an ocean of soft taste on your tongue, a familiar melody. Say it to yourself, "I remember love. I remember love." With this phrase, each breath becomes a small, loving echo. If you prefer secular imagery, picture instead a slow, steady lantern that dims to the exact brightness your mind finds soothing. The lantern provides an even, warm light that keeps your awareness gentle and focused on simple, calming images, the sound of distant rain, the hush of leaves, the weight of your body sinking. Repeat a neutral anchor. I rest now.
Bring to mind one small concern. Give it 3 moves. Name it, offer compassion, and place it into the light. Name it briefly. I worried about the call. Offer compassion. I did what I could. Place it into the light and watch it float upward. Notice how this small ritual reduces the urgency of the thought. Repeat with another item if needed. Each time you place something in the light, feel your chest ease a fraction more. If you are holding grief, picture it in your hands as a small stone. Hold it for a moment and then set it into the light. Allow someone, an imagined companion, or the idea of the universe, or your own deeper self, to lift it from you and hold it with care. You do not lose it forever. You give it a resting place where it will be treated kindly until you are ready to see it again. Now imagine a gentle descent, steps or a path that gives you permission to slow further. Each step down is a soft counting, 10, 9, 8. And with each number, the mind quiets and your body grows heavier. You do not need to know how many steps there are. Simply let the count guide you deeper into relaxation. At the bottom, you rest in a warm dark that is not empty but full of soft possibility. Here, sleep is close. As you rest in this warm dark, repeat quietly the intention you set earlier. Tonight, I release what I do not need. Allow the phrase to soften into breath. Let the phrase and the sense of ease become indistinguishable. If your mind offers a distraction, treat it like static on a distant radio. Listen briefly, then let the channel return to silence. When you feel the first waves of sleep approaching, the drifting thoughts, the slower breath, surrender into them. Trust that the light will continue to hold what you placed into it until morning. Trust that the items you set aside will not be lost, but will be there if you need to visit with them again. Your job tonight was to offer them a resting place. You have done that. If you wake in the night, keep rituals small. Breathe. Name the thought. Place it on your bedside page. Imagine the light taking it. Then return to the sensation of weight and the lungs' slow rhythm. Avoid checking the phone or starting the mind's engine again with bright screens. Here are 2 short stories of how this routine can feel in practice, one more metaphysical, one more secular, so you can see how to adapt the method to your own inclination. Lena had spent years in creative work, always turning things over in her head until the small hours. She found the Cayce-inspired practices appealing because they reframed her sleeplessness as something to be met with tenderness rather than frustration. One night she followed the routine, dimming the room, drawing an image of a soft circle of light with her mind, and jotting down a list of night notes. When memories of a harsh conversation rose, she placed them into the circle as small folded papers and watched them drift. The practice did not erase her concerns, but it did quiet the relentless replaying. Within a few weeks, she noticed that falling asleep took less time and that morning clarity returned with less residue of worry. Marcus, who considered himself skeptical, tried a secular version. He used the same physical steps: dim lights, notebook, slow breathing, progressive relaxation. Instead of picturing guides, he imagined a warm lamp and the steady sound of a fan in the next room. He labeled his worries on a page, and in the morning, scheduled one small action for each item, rather than letting them loop overnight. For Marcus, the nightly ritual worked because it provided structure, an action that said, "I will hold this at a place and address it later." Over time, the practice trained his nervous system to stop gripping thoughts at night. People often ask practical questions about how to make this routine fit into a busy life. Here are a few common concerns answered simply. Do I have to use the metaphysical imagery? No, use imagery that speaks to you. The method is about creating a ritual and a container. Whether that container is a circle of light, a warm lamp, or a mental checklist is less important than the act of gently placing worries outside the bed of sleep. How long should I journal? Keep it short at first. 1 to 3 minutes is enough to transfer active thoughts out of the mind. You can keep a longer journal in the morning if deeper reflection feels helpful. The nighttime page is meant to be a practical transfer, not a full therapy session. What if I can't stop thinking even after doing the routine? That is common. The routine is training. Start with small goals. Reduce the time it takes to fall asleep by a couple of minutes, or practice the breathing for 5 minutes. If intrusive thoughts persist and are severe, seek support from a practitioner experienced with sleep or mental health. Be patient with yourself. Repetition builds new habits. Will this replace medication or therapy? No. Use this routine as a supportive practice. It is not a substitute for medical or psychological treatment. If you take medications for sleep or mental health, continue to follow your provider's guidance and discuss any changes you plan to make. If your insomnia is chronic or linked to medical or mental health issues, please consult a qualified health professional. Before we close, a few gentle reminders about expectations. This is not a guaranteed overnight miracle. The intent is to offer a consistent, compassionate practice that supports your nervous system and your heart's need for closure. Over time, nightly repetition tends to shift how the mind treats concerns at bedtime. The Cayce-inspired elements, Hall of Records, Circle of Light, Silver Cord, are offered as metaphors for containment and attunement.
You may find the imagery resonates deeply, or you may prefer to use secular substitutes. Both approaches can be effective when paired with steady sleep hygiene steps. Tonight, try one full cycle. Dim the room, set your intention, breathe and relax. Write for 1 to 3 minutes. Place 1 or 2 items into the light and follow the extended visualization until you feel the pull of sleep. If you wake, keep the re-entry brief. Breathe, maim, place, rest. If this practice speaks to you, try it for a week and notice small shifts, less time turning over memories, morning clarity, or simply a gentler relationship with the night. If it helps, consider subscribing and sharing with someone who might need a kind way back to sleep. Remember, according to Edgar Cayce's perspective, sleep can be a time of review, release, and gentle attunement. Tonight, let it be that for you. I remember love. Go rest.